what's happening is that the health crisis is now becoming a financial crisis and also a humanitarian crisis. And I think the context is that all of us at this time are feeling, on the one hand, stress and anxiety and fear, but on the other hand, feel even more connected to our families, committed to our communities, and a sense of responsibility to the world around us. And I think it is with that mindset, we at Panera are constantly looking at how we can step up and do things the right way for our associates and customers and community. So like you mentioned, the grocery idea, I think for our customers, we're constantly thinking on how can we serve them more effectively in a way that also makes sense for the business and for our associates. So we saw this friction around high demand grocery items. I'm sure you experienced that yourself. One, it is difficult to go to grocery stores. If you get there, the high demand grocery items are very often not there. Or if you want to get it home delivered, that's also very hard to get by. So we, realizing that, came up with Panera Grocery as a new line of business in about 14 days. And the proposition is very simple, that Panera will offer from our pantry high quality ingredients of bakery and dairy and fresh produce to your homes in under an hour on the same day. So that's what we launched. And then on the community side, I think, again, it's staggering what's happening. It is estimated that 55 million people will suffer from hunger in the US. 20% of the food banks are going to run out of food. And, this just is not right. And I think brands like ours need to step up and help. And therefore, we came. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry to cut you off. I mean, it's amazing. And we've seen the food lines. Just in the interest of time, Niren, I want to ask about the business, because the conversation in the U.S. has focused and shifted to reopening the economies. Are your stores open for dine-in in places like Georgia right now? And what are you seeing?
So I think we all along kept almost 90% of our cafes open. Of course, the dine-in has been closed in many of those cafes. And we are thinking through reopening through three filters, what the federal government is saying, state governments, but also we have our own criteria of when we think we will be absolutely safe to open for our associates and customers. And so we are working through those plans. So, for example, making sure that we have plexiglass barriers for our customers, making sure we have wellness stations where we're taking temperatures for our employees and so on. So we have a long set of activities that we want to ensure is in place in our cafes before we start opening them up to ensure safety of our associates and customers. So we're in the middle of doing that work.
My other big question is on the long term. If you have to rethink the economics of your business, if you are allowed to open, a slow rollout across the country in this environment of social distancing, I mean, what do you have? Half capacity, 25% of capacity? Do the economics of restaurants still work? And if people are getting used to more and more buying their groceries and cooking at home, does that also represent a big headwind for the business in the longer term?
Yeah, I think the new world that will emerge will have its challenges, but I also think will have its fair share of opportunities. I think, fortunately, I think what the customers will want as we open up will be, first of all, to be assured of safety. Secondly, I think to be assured of off-premise convenience, value, and also wellness. I think those are the four things that are going to be important. And I think Panera is uniquely positioned to leverage those attributes. But as a brand, we stand for wellness, but also we have a lot of strength on the off-premise channels. We have a very strong delivery, catering, rapid pickup, curbside pickup, drive-through, enterprise. So we have a lot of ways in which the customers can access us very safely in an off-premise basis. And also, we have a very strong e-commerce platform, as you know. So we have almost 50% of our transactions right now are coming from e-commerce. So with the infrastructure of off-premise, e-commerce, and our brand standing for food that is good for you, I think we should be able to leverage the strengths as we emerge out of this.
Niren, thank you so much for joining us. Good to check in. Niren Chaudhary.